How's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in this video we are going to be talking about some Call of Duty Ghosts. So sit tight and let's get started. Alright, so when Mark Rubin was doing his behind the scenes video and when he was on shows like Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel talking about, many of the important features of Call of Duty Ghosts, he continued to bring up dynamic maps, and today I want to show you some gameplay of what we have of the dynamic maps that they're talking about, some of the features I think it's going to bring, and some theories and ideas I have about the dynamic map feature in multiplayer. So let me show you the gameplay, we'll talk about it, and then I'll discuss some theories.
We have everything from big earthquakes and floods down to player-driven actions, doors, explosive traps, things that change the flow of the map. All of this creates a new dynamic experience for the player.
Alright, so a few things I noted off the bat. Mark Rubin actually mentioned like explosive traps, computer set off devices, explosives, and then one of the main components we saw in that video was the pile of logs falling. So what I'm going to think is one of the main dynamic maps that we can kind of confirm in this game is kind of going to be like a wooded area where like logs are brought to be, chopped into pieces. You've seen it in like cartoons and maybe in movies, that giant saw belt, and you push like a giant log through it and it cuts it in half, etc. That's kind of what I'm thinking right there, because whilst with those logs being a nice triangle pyramid shape, they're obviously meant to be cut down, etc. So we saw from what Mark Rubin said, there's going to be multiple types of dynamic features in the game, whether that be traps like get owned by a sniper, what do you know? There's going to be multiple types of features in the game, so explosives, human set off devices, traps, so lots of dynamic things that we're going to be seeing so far. Now we know one confirmed dynamic map, and that is freefall. And I've already stated my theories for freefall in that the building will collapse over certain phases of the map, and that cannot be human controlled. It's going to be like the launch rocket from Black Ops 1. At a certain part of the map, it's just going to click and something's going to happen. Now as far as this map, the one we were looking at, kind of like the wood shop, I think that is going to be player driven. Someone can set off those pile of logs to roll and cascade down the hill, and I think that it will land in an important part of the objective. Maybe they'll do something with the saw blade or wood shop area that I'm thinking about, but who knows? I'm not really sure. That's just kind of what I'm getting from as a theory from what we've seen so far. Alright, so for the last part of this video, I want to talk about some of my theories for future dynamic maps and some ideas that I think would work really well. Of course, I would encourage you guys to leave comments down below and let me know what you think of mine, and add your own suggestions. I'll be reading them and definitely checking them out. So the first one is similar to a map we have in Black Ops 2, a ski resort, like downhill. So you can get in the gondolas and ride them up on a certain point to each map. So how this is going to work is the map is going to be multi-leveled, kind of like Afghan, where there was that high part of the map and then there was that low part of the map. The ski resort of the gondolas would take you up to a certain point, and you'd be able to ride them up essentially. And maybe at one point there's like a natural disaster or an avalanche that takes out the gondolas, preventing you from using that as a method of getting up inside of the map. Another one is kind of like a giant navy vessel or a giant ship, and it's very stormy outside. Picture the map from Call of Duty 4. It's slipping my mind right now. I think it's called Wet Work, and where the waves will actually rock the boat, and you could be, certain parts of the map might be swept away, kind of like Hydro from Black Ops 2, if a wave crashes over the boat. And finally, my last one is you're inside of a plane, and halfway through the plane an explosive goes off, taking off part of the jet, and if anyone is in that part of the jet, you'll kind of get destroyed. Now what I can relate that to is like Black Ops 1 on launch, where if the rocket took off and obviously if the jet fuel that ignited hit you on that B flag area, you would be killed. So those are some of the ideas that I have really for this game, or for the dynamic map part of this game, and really I want to let you guys know, or want to hear from you guys, what do you think about those three? Because in my opinion, I want there to be some dynamic maps where we do have this control. I think Black Ops 1 did a really good job of that. Obviously they weren't as extreme, but there were some maps like Firing Range where we saw very minimal dynamic ability, where if you shot those moving targets, they would spin around. And then we saw maps like Radiation where there was more of a dynamic feel, where the player could control the flow of the game by opening and closing that door on the B flag. So that's a good theory right there. And then we saw some other maps that really didn't have anything at all. You know, a good balance is going to be nice, because if every map is like free fall, where, you know, you're constantly fighting the elements of the map, I don't think that's going to be as fun as it sounds. I think that there should be some maps that are, you know, maybe even ones that are put into a unique playlist. So if you want only dynamic maps, maybe there will be an only dynamic map playlist. I hope that is the case, and if you want a good mix of all of them, hopefully it's just like regular, you know, you just hop in TDM or Domination, etc., and you go from there. So who knows, only time will tell, and we'll find out in the future. Anyways guys, my name is Mr. Boss with the Win. Thanks for watching this video. Like I said, I would encourage you guys to like, favorite, and subscribe, and be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the dynamic map theories, and of course, I will talk to you guys in the next video.